Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today I'm going to be playing some more Death Trick Double Blind. Now we have just entered the 11 AM hour slot with Detective Jones, who I still don't think we know the first name of. I don't know if it's been in his journal or somewhere and I've just not spotted it, but anyway. We're going to go in and hopefully speak to all of these guys. Obviously we spoke to the fortune teller here with Jackie last time. But he gave us a useful mechanic for sort of trading experience for gaining extra action points. So that's something that we may well have to introduce with Jones as well. It's probably a good place to start because I also realised with Jackie, I neglected to search the tent as well with our sort of examination tool. But Detective Jones maybe makes more sense to be doing that with anyway. Compared to the magnanimous big top, this hut stooped quietly after the corner. Sees barely any traffic from visitors. I can almost feel the whole tent shake when I pull on the curtains to enter, making me question its structural integrity.
It's fine. It might not look that way, but it's quite sturdy. Welcome to the fortune teller's tent, stranger. What are you looking for today?
A murderer.
Detective Jones. Mr. Moses said you'd be around.
That's me. Although the boy speaks in a serious tone, his squeaky voice, round face, and tiny stature, in an already tiny tent, betray his age. He is young, and not even youthful but inexperienced sort of young. The "what are you doing here without your parents" sort of young.
I'm Tito, the fortune teller.
We've met him before. Well, Tito, I'm looking for the murderer. Can you help? That said, what I'm looking for is the culprit behind Hattie's death. Can you help me with that?
As a fortune teller, or as a member of the circus?
Is there a difference?
I don't really have any information on what happened with Hattie, if that's what you're looking for.
But you can provide help with your mystic stuff.
The spirits can provide guidance, but they won't tell you what you aren't capable of knowing yet.
You're saying that I can't just reveal the murderer by drawing a few cards or by saying a spell? Well, that's disappointing.
However, if you are interested in a reading, I can do one for you.
Oh, I don't,
The first reading is free.
Oh, well, let's do it then. Not that I'm being stingy.
You don't need to explain.
He quickly places a deck of tarot cards on the table as a way to end this awkward conversation.
So, what are you looking to learn about today?
The case, of course.
If you are looking for an answer to be handed to you, that won't happen. What the cards can offer, however, is guidance. Place your hand on the deck.
I reach for the deck.
Wait. There's something I need to warn you about first.
Huh?
This deck of cards, some of them have been sabotaged.
What does that mean? Like they're cursed?
No, someone messed with them with paint.
Okay. Why didn't you get a new set of cards then?
I've developed a spiritual connection with this one.
He clearly doesn't want me to derail the conversation any further, so he clears his throat and lifts his chin.
Nonetheless, I assure you, whatever's on the cards won't interfere with the reading. So, please place your hand on the deck and ask your questions to the cards. Keep that question in mind and shuffle the cards.
All right, cards and spirits. How should I solve the case? I shuffle the deck.
Split the deck into 3 and place them in sequence from left to right like this.
Okay.
Good. Now, let's say the first card represents you, the situation you are in, what you are here to do.
He gestures for me to flip it over. What's he got? Has he got like a skewer with meat on it and that's like a slice of pie with sort of a la mode ice cream on it? I don't know what those are supposed to be. Gold coins, maybe? It's got a little smiley face as well. Now that I'm face to face with the Justice card, I have to bite my tongue to hold back my laughter. Well, I see what you mean by sabotage. The God of Justice is holding a sword, which is now a nice rotisserie for some delicious-looking meat. The golden scale in his hand is balancing a piece of pie and some coins. Yeah, there we go. Pretty much guessed it. Justice,
Justice. Equity and truth. That seems to represent what you are seeking, yes?
Yes, of course. I wouldn't say no to some rotisserie and fruit pies either. He glares. Normally I'd feel sorry, but reprimanding me with his baby face just isn't intimidating. It's like getting yelled at by a puppy. Sorry, so what does the second card represent?
This card represents the obstacle that you are facing.
The High Priestess, I guess? Kind of upside down, though. Hard to tell what the defaced elements are here. I mean, it looks... yeah, I don't know.
The Sacerdotisa, the High Priestess reversed. Secrets, hidden motives, repressed intuition.
Story of my life.
I can imagine. The last card is meant to provide guidance and advice on how to best overcome said obstacle.
I flip it over. In the center of the card is a big piece of pie covered with whipped cream and slices of lemon, divided into 8 pieces. Whoever did this must be a great lover of pie.
Yan loves lemon pie.
So that's the culprit.
This card is, well, it's supposed to be the Wheel of Fortune, change, karma, the turning point. It signals that something big is going to happen, and what's after will be permanently different than before.
In my life, the murderers or the circus?
Perhaps all 3.
Wow, that's not ominous at all.
I'm merely a messenger for the stars.
Well, tell them thanks, I guess.
Wait, before you go, there is one more thing I can do. I believe you will find it helpful, but it does not come without a price.
A price? I'm afraid,
No, not money.
Oh, well, go on.
Consider the circus a mystic space, and time here a separate entity. The more you do and the more you learn within this space, the flow of time could be changed.
And that means...
In short, the experience you gain here can be exchanged for more opportunities for action. When you have enough experience, you can visit me any time to initiate the trade.
I see. I've only got... So, Jones has only got 50 XP. Okay, so that's not going to happen yet. But let's do the examination thing, which I wasn't able to do before. Well, I mean, I probably was able to do before. I just didn't. A series of tarot cards float in the air, gently swaying to the subtle shifts of air inside the tent. Upon closer inspection, they are tied to the tent ceiling with fishing line. Of course. I spot a small tea table covered in a blue tablecloth with beautiful print. The tablecloth seems old, with fraying edges and faint stains, but it's still neatly pressed and smells faintly freshly washed. On the table rests an oversized crystal ball, because of course there's a crystal ball for the fortune teller. 2 cups of steaming hot tea await their enjoyers. Or perhaps they're merely there for the tea leaves to be read. Do we get to drink the tea after we read the leaves? Because otherwise it seems like a waste of perfectly good tea. I mean, surely you drink the tea first, because the tea leaves are in an empty cup, aren't they? I think that's the point. Oh, hang on. Trying to advance the dialogue, I've just clicked the table again. Oh, and again. Right. Let's see. In the corner of the tent, though it's small enough that the whole tent feels made of corners, is a shelf filled with various trinkets. Candles lit and unlit, a colour-tinted mirror, a celestial globe, a framed photo, various cans of mysterious spices and potions. It's a shelf of mysteries, and perhaps only its owner can tell stories about what each item came... What? About where each item came from and what they are meant to do. Got a little, safety box, probably for the money. A red steel lunchbox sits on the shelf behind the table. What's inside that box?
Lemon pie.
Oh, are you planning to eat that later?
Why don't you keep it?
Oh, me? I don't. I'm not hungry. He shakes his head, looking into his crystal ball, and smiles mysteriously.
I have a feeling you might need this later.
Okay.
Feel free to gift it to anyone else.
He opens the lunchbox, takes out the paper bag holding the lemon pie, and hands it to me.
Here.
Lemon pie, a piece of lemon pie in a paper bag. It's looking a little worse for wear after banging around in a lunchbox, but any lover of lemon pie would probably still find it appetizing. Well, thanks, I appreciate it. That's not anything. We've done the table. That's probably it for now. Oh no, stuff is lighting up now. I don't know why. Oh, what's this? It's the only corner in the room that doesn't scream divination at first glance. Instead, it's a quiet corner of pillows and blankets, each with different colors and prints. Is this where he sleeps? It looks cramped, but surprisingly homely. I wouldn't mind taking a nap there, although I clearly wouldn't fit. Oh, I clicked on the blimmin' table again. What's this thing? An old grandfather clock stands to the side. I don't think its hands are even moving. An old, broken grandfather clock. Right, well, I think that's probably it for here. Yeah, we leave. Via the map. Cool. Well, I think this is the puppeteer guy. I'm quite curious to go and speak to him. I think this is Tito's sister. I keep forgetting her name. He's mentioned it a couple of times. Jan? I think that'll be Jan. But let's go and speak to he's looking like our prime suspect at the moment, this puppeteer, so let's go check him out. A short walk away from the big top was the area for the fair. Various snack stands, toy vendors, and games form a little circle on the field. A small crowd is gathered in the middle, clearly enraptured by a performance. I make my way through to get a peek at what they're watching. In front of the crowd stands a gaunt man with long hair and tired eyes. His skin color reminds me of a vampire. Despite the vampire's otherwise disinterested expressions, children are gathered around watching the puppet on his hand. The red-haired, aristocratic puppet is doing a cheery dance. Its movements and gestures are animated, waving at the audience, covering its face in laughter, taking a bow. I can even see the puppet's chest heaving after the dance. As the crowd cheers, I take another glance at the puppeteer, whose face remains blank. A peculiar contrast with the toy on his hand.
That's all. Thank you. We are going to take a short break. Before you go, I'm obliged to inform you that there's a calliope performance scheduled at the end of the hour. So if you somehow manage to miss the giant calliope, now you know.
I realize the puppeteer's mouth is firmly shut. Only the puppet's jaw moves. Ventriloquism. I get why some people find it creepy. As the crowd gradually dissipates to the various vendors, I end up alone with the puppeteer. Do you have a minute?
And you are?
I just wanted to ask you about... The puppeteer turns to leave. Wait, I'm here to ask you.
I don't take questions from crazy strangers.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm Jones, Detective Jones. Moses said I can ask everyone a few questions.
But you can. Not sure if you should.
And your name is?
Echo.
Not creepy at all. The performance is over, but even as we speak, Echo's own lips never move. I'm not sure if I should look at him or the puppet. Let's go the first one. You're the puppeteer.
And you are here to look into Hattie's death. Oh, sorry. I just thought we were both stating the obvious. Also, it's not a puppet. It's a marionette.
What's the difference?
What's the difference between a private investigator and a cop?
Well, you can arrest people. I can't.
Exactly. One is just a watered-down version of the other, and the other's strings are pulled by an unseen hand.
I don't know if I should be offended as a PI or on behalf of the police. Do you ever give a straight answer to a question?
Does my conversational style bother you? How unfortunate. I should hope for the day when someone would just answer yes when you ask them if they killed the victim. It would make your job so easy.
See, you just did it again. The puppet laughs, but Echo's face remains frozen. I don't think I can get used to this. Are you refusing to answer on purpose?
Don't ask meaningless questions if you don't want meaningless answers.
All right, well, I guess I'll get to the point. I guess we should ask him what he was doing at the time of death? Where were you the night of the murder?
I was walking around.
Walking around, like taking a stroll? Wasn't it raining outside?
Perhaps I like walking in the rain. Is that a crime?
Fine, go on. Was there anybody else with you?
Let me save you the time. No, I don't have an alibi. I was alone outside, and then I wandered into the damn tent, and I saw her tied onto the board, already dead.
Were you the first one to find her?
Can't say for sure if I'm the first one, but I was the first to tell the others. Maybe someone else saw her and decided to pretend they didn't. With how many questions I anticipate you are about to ask me, I'm beginning to think maybe I should have done the same.
What happened after you found her?
I checked her pulse, and then I knew. I knew Moses wasn't going to get back in time, so I had to do something.
So you told the other performers what was going on?
I only talked to a few people.
Can you tell me a bit about who you talked to and what they were doing at the time?
Would you also like me to tell you who eats what for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Just tell me, who did you see after you found Hattie?
I saw Alice, Aideen, and Chip.
We haven't met Aideen yet.
After I got Alice to close down the tent, I went to find Aideen in her trailer.
Wait, Aideen?
She's the fire performer. She's close with Hattie.
What was she doing when you found her?
She was just in her trailer with Jan, her little sister. I knocked on the door and told her what happened.
So Jan was in the room with her?
Yes, that's what I just said. This whole thing is going to be much slower than it already is if you insist on not paying attention and making me repeat myself.
Sorry, go on.
Well, when I told Aideen what happened, she went back inside to talk to Jan. And then she insisted on seeing Hattie.
Okay, we should start with Alice then. Who's Alice?
She's the mechanic. I went to find her first so she could put up a sign out to stop anyone else from entering the tent.
What was she doing when you found her?
I remember she was taking a nap in the stables.
A nap at 7 p.m.?
Yes, it was arrival day and she was up before sunrise setting up. She usually takes a nap after we finish unloading, and the stable back room was the only place that had a free bed ready.
Was there anybody else there with her?
I didn't see anyone else, but I wasn't exactly scouting the place. It was dark, and I'd just seen my colleague's corpse.
Who's Chip?
A clown.
Well, that's not very nice. Just joking. So the circus clown, right? Got it. Why did you go find Chip?
I didn't. You asked who I saw. I saw him when I was on my way to the stables to find Alice.
What was he doing?
I don't know. I was in a hurry going down the main road to the stables, but I saw him near the train, probably coming back from somewhere.
I mean, if that's supposed to be Chip, we can't see his face. He's just wearing a big Crocodile Dundee-style hat, isn't he? And a big coat. You saw him near the train when you were on the main road? That's quite far. And it was dark too, right? How did you know it was him?
He was wearing this gaudy cowboy hat. I recognize that hat because I see it every damn day in our trailer. There are only a few of us that live there. No one else would wear something like that.
So we didn't see Chip exactly, just his hat. What happened then?
Alice closed off the tent. None of us touched anything in there afterward. Aideen went to tell the others what happened. We waited until Moses was back, and he decided to call the cops. The rest you probably already know.
So, Echo's statement. Echo was walking alone on Monday night when he found Hattie's body at 7 p.m. He went to the stable back room to find Alice to close down the crime scene. On his way there, he saw Chip, walking to the train cars wearing his gaudy cowboy hat. Afterward, he went to inform Aideen, who was in the trailer with her sister Jan. Okay. What was that about? Verify photo? Show the photo to Echo. Oh, yeah, that's right, of course. Photo of crime scene. Can you take a look at this picture?
The police took that, didn't they? Guess they finally did something right.
Do you have anything to say about what's in the picture?
No, that's what I saw when I went in. Nothing has been moved or...
Oh, sorry. Nothing has been moved or changed? At all?
Oh, well, I'm not an idiot. I know not to disturb a crime scene. I checked her pulse. I didn't touch anything else. Not that those bumbling officers found any fingerprints anyway.
And Aideen and Alice? They didn't move anything?
No, this photo is exactly how I remember it.
Okay. That's good. At least it's something I can work from. Every crime scene has its value, even though no fingerprints can be found. Even when it creates more mysteries. Mysteries are good. Mysteries mean clues. When mysteries appear, they point me towards the right questions. When mysteries are solved, they form part of the right answer. So I find myself standing here, facts and theories about the case flashing in my mind. Hattie was killed in the storage room, tied to the knife-throwing board, with a throwing knife in her heart. Echo was the first one that found her, and if he is to be believed, the photo shows the exact state of the crime scene. Neither the room nor the state of Hattie's dress indicate any sign of struggle. How did the killer tie her up without a fight? The way I see it, there are three possible scenarios. Scenario A, she was tied to the board after her murder. Scenario B, she was tied when she's unconscious. And Scenario C, she allowed herself to be tied up. I need to examine each possibility carefully. Scenario A, she was tied to the board after her death. This one seems least likely given that some of the blood splattered onto the board, and the pattern lines up with her position. If she wasn't already tied to the board, she must have been in that position when the stabbing happened. Standing right in front of the board with her arms stretched out horizontally seems like an odd pose to be in. I don't think she could have been killed in some other place or fashion, then tied to the board and stabbed through the chest. I'm not a medical expert, but I've seen enough dead bodies to know there is way too much bleeding for that to be a post-mortem wound. The stab wound had to have occurred when her heart was still beating. Scenario B, she was tied up when she was unconscious, which, given what happened to me, could be some sort of modus operandi for the killer. But Moses says there was no head wound or any other visible injury on Hattie apart from the killing blow. A physical attack seems unlikely. That leaves the possibility that she was drugged. Either the killer had to drug her first and carry her to the storage tent, a risky move given that it was during the day and there were plenty of other workers around. Or the killer would have to do it after they were both inside. Contrary to popular belief, almost nothing works instantaneously. A target would certainly notice a cloth or a syringe and cause a struggle. Dosing her food or drinks is a possibility, but that usually takes even more time. If that were the case, it could confirm the assumption that the culprit is one of the other key members in the circus. But the hidden key questions for this scenario remains why. Why go through all the trouble to set this up? Was the killer just trying to make this look like a magic act gone wrong, hoping it to be dismissed as an accident? Perhaps it might have worked with Aideen, the usual target, but the fact that it's Hattie tied up is reason alone to be suspicious of foul play. Or else, is there a symbolic reason for recreating a scene like this? That I can't be sure of yet. Lastly, Scenario C. She allowed herself to be tied up by someone she trusted. Clearly, this has something to do with the knife-throwing act. However, in their usual performance, Hattie was always the thrower, not the target. Now, if I were Hattie, why would I let someone throw knives at me while tied up? This one's hard. Why would she agree to it? Maybe she was teaching someone else the act, so she decided to step in and temporarily fill the role of the co-performer. That would certainly explain the mirror as something the performer could use to observe themselves. Missing piece to this theory. Who was the person Hattie was trying to teach? What reason would they have to kill her? Did they plan this whole thing? What was the motive? To get rid of Hattie and replace her? Could it be this bogus magician Moses said he hired, but he was adamant she wasn't involved in this? But maybe he's got it wrong. Is it possible that maybe this whole thing was an accident? That it was simply a practice gone wrong, and when the knife thrower aimed for the board, the knife tragically hit Hattie in the heart? Maybe out of guilt or fear of repercussions, the other person decided to leave and pretend that they were never there. So many possibilities, so little evidence. I don't think I have enough information to possibly answer these questions yet. The answer might just lie with one of the people who knew Hattie. If only I could find the right person and ask the right questions.
You've been talking to yourself for the past 10 minutes.
Shit, I forgot all about Echo.
Forgot I was here?
No, not at all. Do you have anything more to add?
No.
Okay, alright, well, thanks for the answer. He looks surprised by my sudden politeness as his face freezes mid-scorn. He nods uncomfortably.
No need to thank me. Can you put the picture away now? I don't need to look at that. I saw it with my own eyes.
That's fair. I put the photo back in my pocket. Now, we've got enough XP now to get another time slot. Now, I'm not going to show him the lemon pie, because I think that's going to be for Yan, who we know was drawing pie all over the tarot card. So I think she's a bit obsessed with pie, so that might be a way to get her to say something to us. So I basically can get back to 3 AP. I mean, if something like Phoenix Wright, you can ask everyone everything, but here you've just got to be so targeted in what you ask. I mean, I think what I'm going to do is ask Echo about Hattie, then I'm going to go back to the fortune teller and grab another AP, then I'm going to go to the tent and chat to whoever's there. I think it's Yan in the tent. So let's start off by asking Echo about Hattie. Did you know Hattie well?
We studied under the same master for a few years before the circus. However, I don't consider the length of time people spend with each other a meaningful indicator of their relationship.
But you are the person that has known her the longest here?
To the best of my knowledge.
And you came here to work together. Doesn't that mean you're pretty close?
We both work here doesn't mean we came here together. I started here years before she did.
What was she doing in the years between your apprenticeships and now?
Working in other places. What else? As you can see, she made quite a name for herself in those years. In fact, if her last place hadn't gone bankrupt, I'm sure she wouldn't have settled for Morgan's little circus.
All right, I get it. You weren't friends.
I don't have friends.
And you like it that way?
It's just the fact of the matter. I don't feel any particular way about it.
Wait. You said you apprenticed under the same master, right?
Yes, I just said that. Keep up.
What did your mentor teach exactly? Because you and Hattie don't seem to be in the same discipline.
He was a man of many talents. He taught us both everything he knew.
Does that mean Hattie could become a puppeteer if she wanted, and you know the magic tricks too?
Hattie never bothered much with ventriloquism.
But he isn't denying that he knows magic. Fellow apprentices, the circus puppeteer Echo has history with Hattie. They once studied their crafts under the same mentor, which we found out with Jackie, but now Detective Jones knows it as well. The mentor taught them both everything he knew, from magic tricks to ventriloquism, but Hattie decided to perform the former while Echo chose the latter. But we have a contradiction, do we? So we probably the fellow apprentices thing and... What could contradict this? Did someone tell us? Did anyone tell us anything about this? I don't think it's not that. What about this? Hattie's the only one in the circus trained in knife throwing. If he taught them everything they know, then wouldn't he know that as well? Hattie must have learned knife throwing somewhere, likely from her mentor. Since Echo has been taught all the same things, is it possible that he knows the act too? When I asked you if anyone else in the circus knows knife throwing, you said no.
Yes, that's what I said. Is there a point to this?
Well, you see, there's just this little inconsistency. Isn't it true that you and Hattie apprenticed under the same mentor, and he taught you both everything he knew?
Sure.
So your mentor taught you both everything. Presumably every act Hattie can do, you can do too, but somehow the knife-throwing act is an exception?
Ah. You think you've caught me, don't you? Aha, look at Echo. He doesn't even realize his mistake. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm simply trying to uncover the truth.
Well, believe it or not, no. My teacher was a man of many talents, but knife throwing wasn't one of them. In my 5 years working with him, I never saw him perform a single trick with knives. In fact, I have never seen him with knives, period. Not even to slice fruit. I have no idea where Hattie picked that up, but I can tell you it wasn't from him, and I certainly have no idea how to do it.
Could it be possible that he never told you for some reason and he taught Hattie separately? I know I'm grasping at straws already, and he can sense it too.
Then I would have no way of knowing that, would I? And they are both dead now, so good luck finding that out. But I don't think so, for what it's worth.
How do I know you're telling the truth?
You don't.
He looks away and silence hangs in the air. If she didn't learn it from your mentor, then where did the act even come from?
Beats me. I never saw her practice or perform it before she came to Morgan's.
She must have learned it herself in the years between then. He shrugs.
Self-taught. Echo and Hattie's mutual mentor wasn't skilled in knife throwing, so Hattie couldn't have learned it from him. Hattie was never seen performing or practicing knife throwing before she came to Morgan's Travelling Circus. Now, I've run out. I think when I stop this, it's going to say day over, so I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to go back and grab another AP. But we should still be able to trade it in the next time we have that available. There we go, end of turn. It's worth remembering then that once you get to 0, it just moves on. And so if you want to get an extraction point, you kind of have to do it prior to then. I'm about to ask something else when I'm interrupted by the Calliope. I turn to look at the Calliope and notice something intriguing. A woman stands in the corner. She's wearing a top hat, black dress with purple ruffles, gloves and boots. It's Jackie! As if sensing someone is looking at her, she turns around. She's wearing a mask that covers half of her face like the ones you would see at a Venetian masquerade. Her eyes meet mine and she gently tips her top hat. What are you staring at?
My thoughts are interrupted by Echo. I'd forgotten all about him for a moment. That's the magician your boss hired?
Who?
I turn to point at the woman, but she's gone. I think I saw the new magician just now.
Oh, the fake Hattie. Yes, Moses' idea. I don't know what he's thinking.
Did she see me? Did she know who I am and what I'm here to do? I guess those questions will be left unanswered unless I manage to catch her alone somewhere. But it's now midday with... Wow, we've only got 7 hours left. Yeah, this is going to be tricky, I think, with the limited action points. Let's see, how much XP does Jackie have now? She's still... Oh, okay. Now, I don't know if it will go to like 6 out of 5 or whether it will only go up to a maximum of 5. So it feels like I should probably use an AP first. At least one. And then go to the tent and get another one. So... I would like to speak, I think this is Aideen backstage. I'd like to go maybe do that. I'd also like to go and visit Jan, what I think is Jan, in the train car. We might be able to do both. Let's start with backstage, though, which is where Aideen is. We might be able to get a permission to go in the train car as well. I'll make my way back to the backstage tent. Alice said she'd be gone for an hour, so she's probably back here, too. But when I walk in, the first person I see is a stranger. A beautiful woman is sitting right in the middle of the room in front of one of the lit-up mirrors. She's wearing a glittery costume, the upper part of a corset shaped like flames hugging her body. I can see part of a large tattoo across her collarbone of shapes and lines that twist around like knots. Maybe something Celtic? With her long auburn hair pinned to the side, she's intensely focused as she pencils in her eyebrows, thin and arched like the ladies in film noir classics. She hears my entrance and shifts her focus, her hand still holding the pencil to her brow. She takes in my outfit and blinks in recognition. I'll have to think about Aideen's voice. I might pause while I think of my options. I think I've decided on Scouse. We'll see how this goes.
Hi, I'm Aideen. I'm the fire performer.
Aideen is the fire performer at Morgan's Travelling Circus.
Alice pops up from where she was concealed behind the other side of the mirrors, holding a tiny brush thingy.
Oh, Alice, what were you? I think she was just a little bit sort of East End Cockney.
Found it.
She hands the brush to Aideen, who has finished with her pencil, and begins using the tiny brush to carefully groom her eyebrows. Seemingly busy with something else, Alice crouches back down again, disappearing from view.
So, you must be Jackie. We were just talking about you.
Her eyes turn back to the mirror, and I almost don't realize she's speaking to me. I can only respond with a dumb sound. Oh?
Nothing bad, I promise. Alice was filling me in on what the boss is planning. Hey, could you please pass me a piece of tissue paper? I believe there's a box in one of the bags behind the sofa.
Oh, me?
Yeah, do you mind?
Of course I don't mind. I just didn't realize you were talking to me. I walk over to pass her the tissue. She turns around to say thanks, holding an open tube of mascara in her hand. Now that she's turned toward me, I can see there's a small beauty mark under her left eye, accentuating her smile.
Thanks.
She carefully wipes the mascara onto the tissue before using it on her eyelashes. She notices my confusion.
It's a little trick to make sure the mascara's not too thick. I read it in a magazine somewhere, and it works like a charm. You should try it sometime. And I have one for lips too. Here, look. Instead of using lipstick, I like to use a lip rouge with small brushes. And the edge is much cleaner this way. Oh, sorry. Look at me lecturing you. Forgive me. I didn't even ask why you were here. Did you need Alice's help for something?
I was looking for you, actually.
Me? Really? Where did you even hear about me?
Well, not you in particular. I'm just trying to get to know everyone in the circus.
I see. Well, I'll be happy to chat and get to know you.
The thing. What's the thing? Oh, let's not ask her about that just yet. We just ask her about herself, maybe. Is that a bit of a New York accent I hear?
Yeah, I grew up in Brooklyn. Can't you tell?
Well, I can't do a Brooklyn accent unless I'm doing like sort of a Italian American mob sort of thing.
Oh, I know it well. Where in Brooklyn? Well, here and there. I lived in lots of places, actually.
Your parents moved a lot? She seems to hesitate for a slight moment before she shrugs.
Not exactly. I grew up in foster care in Liverpool.
Oh, I see. Well, what was that like? Lots of foster parents?
Yeah. There was the Jenkins, and then there was Uncle Kamal and Daniel and Stephen. Those were the ones I spent more time with.
Do we get to ask about all of these, do you think? Tell me about the Jenkinses.
The Jenkins were an older couple in their 70s. When they were younger, they were too worried about working and saving up money to have children of their own. By the time they were ready, they were in their 60s. They fostered 8 children in total. I was the youngest. They were kind enough, but a little too old for all the work that came with dealing with a bunch of troublemakers and children's squabbles. That's why they eventually sent me back. I know, I didn't have the most traditional upbringing, but I just went with the flow and tried my best with every new house and family. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it was bad, but sometimes even if things didn't work out, I still look upon the time we had fondly. I had so many foster parents and siblings. I learned family comes in all shapes and sizes, including this one here.
You mean the circus?
That's right.
Okay, not particularly revealing. We've used a time slot. God, it's good. I want to ask everything. Not really any of those things. Situation in the circus? Ask her about that. I heard there are a lot of rumors going around about Hattie. Have you noticed?
Pretty difficult not to. With all this stuff going around, we still have to do shows every day and pretend like nothing's wrong. It's been hard. It's hard to know what to say when people approach me after shows and ask what happened to Hattie. It's hard to keep up a happy front. It's hard to fill all the missing performance time slots, including the big show. It's hard to not know what really happened ourselves. It's hard to try and stave off the feelings of doubt and suspicion towards people who are considered my friends, my family. It's hard to miss her privately, while the whole world is still asking questions very publicly. I understand. Hopefully this will die down soon and you'll be able to put it behind you. She shakes her head. How can we, if we don't even know the truth? People might move on to another hot topic, but in the absence of truth there will always be rumours. I know saying this will never be enough, but don't lose hope yet. There's still some time left. Perhaps the truth will arrive. Better late than never, as they say.
Oh, I want to ask about... Did I ask her about Hattie already? No, I didn't. It's just not a new topic. Okay, let's ask her about Hattie.
How well did you know Hattie? How well?
She repeats the question breathlessly. She looks incredulous or perhaps indignant.
Yeah, you knew her, right? Yeah, I knew Hattie, of course. We performed an act together, and we're best friends.
Before Hattie's death, Aideen and Hattie were very close friends. They were also partners in an act they performed together. Sounds like they may have been more than friends. Great, that's all I'm getting for that AP. We should probably press her on that. You said you're best friends with Hattie.
Gosh, saying that makes me sound like a 13-year-old schoolgirl, but I don't know how else to put it. We weren't the kind of girls who would hold each other's hands and go running through the neighbourhood declaring their best friend status. Hell, we never were. I moved around a lot growing up. Hattie did too. You know what I mean, right? The girls in the neighbourhood that do everything together. The kind that can't even be peeled apart. Did you have a friend like that growing up? I had friends, not like that though. Well, I thought about that a lot when I was younger. Siblings, sure, I had a mountain of them. More than enough, if I'm being honest. Friends for birthday parties and casual greetings. I had a few of those. But I never had a best friend like that. And when I grew up and started working, no one had best friends anymore. The ladies had families and kids that they spent all of their time with. The men had drinking buddies that they seemed to despise except when they were drunk. And I thought I was too late, forever missed my chance. Then came the circus and Hattie. Life it isn't like normal life. You ride on elephants and sleep on trains, eat with 100 people and perform in front of 1,000. It's not what I thought my life would ever be. But Hattie and I, we do normal friend things, play cards, share snacks, talk about books and magazines, go to town, watch movies. It's just what I thought I would never get, you know. But now she's dead. She didn't need to finish that sentence. I nod quietly. Alright, I'm down to 1 AP, so I want to go and get my extra one from Tito. So let's say goodbye to her, because I'd like to take 2 AP into the train car, I think. Ding, ding, ding. Can I do that? Okay.
Ding. There we go. Oh, 2 of 6. So I think if you were at max, it would go up then. That seems to indicate that. That's cool. Oh, okay, yeah, I know. So, let's go and see that train, about that train car then. Because we've met everyone else.
I approached the train car. It's the first one in the line of what I presume to be living quarters for the performers, parked just outside of the train station. The curtains are open, so I step closer to check if anyone's inside. Just as I lean in, the entire train car shakes with a loud clang. Whoa, what was that? Earthquake? The train car shakes again. This time I'm composed enough to see and hear that it's only coming from inside the car. Vaguely, I think I also hear the squeaking of old springs. Well, guess that answers the question if anyone's inside. How many, and what are they doing to cause the shaking? Oh, if people are doing you-know-what at 12, they should at least have the decency to draw the curtains, right? So it must not be that. I'd hope. The train keeps shaking with an irregular rhythm while I move to knock on the door. I guess if she's her sister, Jan should probably also be Scouse. One moment! A high-pitched voice comes through. I hear a thunk and then a series of small rapid footsteps coming close to the door. It pulls open with a bang and a tiny figure appeared. It's a young girl. She's barely reaches my chest, but the way she's huffing and posturing makes her look bigger than she is. Who are you? And what are you doing here? She ogles my outfit and comes to an easy conclusion. You're the fake Hattie, aren't you? Jackie or something? Yes, I'm Jackie. I'm Jan. I'm the acrobat.
Jan is the acrobat at Morgan's Traveling Circus.
What are you waiting for? Come in.
Unlike its ratty exterior, the inside of the car is colourful and cosy, glowing warm from sunlit windows. The far wall is painted with red and tastefully decorated with magazine clippings. 2 beds, one large and one small, are aligned on the right-hand wall, while there's a vanity desk and a small round tea table to the left side. And while not completely neat, it's filled with details of the people living here. Shoes scattered on the floor, stuffed animals on the bed, tea kettle on the boiler. Jan flops on her bed hard, blankets and stuffed animals shifting from the force.
So, how's it going?
I heard something outside before I came in.
Oh, I was just practicing.
Practicing?
Yeah, my backflips. You want to see?
Here?
Yeah. What's wrong with here?
It just seems dangerous. Don't you need a big cushion or something?
I'm sitting on a big cushion right now.
You mean the bed? Aren't you just gonna hit your head?
Why do you worry so much? You aren't my sister. I'm gonna do it. You can watch or not. Doesn't matter to me.
She kicks off her shoes and piles the blankets onto the bed and kicks her stuffed animals into my lap.
Don't drop them.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
She bends her knees slightly, barely swings her hands much, and takes off. Whoa! With a loud squeak, the bed lifts her into the air. She even has time to curl into a ball before landing. I hear the clang and feel the shaking again as she lands perfectly on the mattress. That's good.
I'm not done.
From the same spot, she moves into a front flip and then a side flip, all from the same spot between the blankets on her bed. Then follows a series of dizzying moves accompanied with the loud noises that makes me irrationally afraid she's going to tip the train over. Why is it so loud? She doesn't even stop her routine to answer me.
We're inside a big metal box.
Aren't you dizzy?
No.
Are you done yet?
Last one.
She hits the spot perfectly once again, posing with her arms up and gesturing to an audience of one. I feel the inexplicable need to applaud. Wow, that was amazing. I'm not sure your neighbors enjoyed it, though.
It's okay, no one's there now. Echo and Chip are both working.
So this is training? You do this every day?
Pretty much.
I'm amazed you haven't broken the bed or the train.
How do you know I haven't?
Have you?
I'm not telling. Here, why are you here?
Oh, you know, I was just going around, getting to know everyone. If you have time, I'd love to chat. Okay, so I only have 2 AP, and I would like to look around the train, so I feel like I should just maybe ask her about herself, and then we'll have a little look around the train, because I don't think we're going to get many opportunities to look around these carriages, because I think at the beginning of the game it said that we couldn't do it if they were empty, like you needed to be invited in, like a vampire. Vampire rules. So yeah, we can ask her about her sister and Hattie, maybe. Well, that could come later. Let's start by asking her about herself. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
I'm 13. I like lemon pies and music on the radio, and I killed Hattie.
What?
I just wanted to see that face.
You almost gave me a heart attack. Do you say things like that all the time?
It's funny.
Can I be sure you didn't do it?
I'm not tall enough for where the knife was.
Wait, how would you know about the knife or the hat unless you've been there?
I was there when I was doing the murder.
What? Are you?
Are you that gullible? I snuck in, of course. Everyone else saw it anyway. Echo, Alice, 18, Moses too, and the cops. I just wanted to know what was going on.
I saw it, you mean?
The tent where Hattie died.
Okay, at first she scared me, and then I thought she was just joking. Now I'm not so sure anymore. Why did she say those things if she didn't do it?
Because it's funny.
What? I didn't say.
I know what you're thinking. Didn't do it. But also, if I did it, I wouldn't say.
Okay, I'm gonna look around the carriage then with my last AP. Where should we start? Start with the animals. Messily made bed with personal items and mismatched socks scattered around it. 2 stuffed animals are huddled together in the corner of the bed. They looked well loved. Okay, what else have we got? Books. A small collection of books behind the bed. From fashion magazines to Frankenstein. From children's books to a history of the suffragette movement. From Jane Austen to A Study in Scarlet. It's a diverse collection. Jan notices me looking and shrugs. Those are Aideen's. Oh, even the storybooks? You mean the ones with the pictures? She got them for me, so I guess they're mine now. You can read them if you want. The adult ones, I mean. Are you sure she'll be okay with that? Yeah, she loves it if people can talk about literature with her. Just don't break them. There's a book at the back of the pile that looks like it hasn't received some TLC in a while. I pick it up and blow the dust off the pages. A collection of poetry by Emily Dickinson. I flip through it to see if anything catches my eye. Perhaps a little poem. Perhaps a little poem about death or hope. But before I can read anything from it, a little note slips out of the book. Oh, hello. I'm sorry. I still owe you $50 for the last ticket. And I owe you half of this amazing smudge that we made together. And there's a short word in the middle that's smeared with ink. I can't quite tell what it was. And I owe you another kiss. A lifetime of kisses. I love you. Part of me will always. But we both know I'm a coward, and this is for the best. It's signed simply with an R. Well, that's got to be Rolf, right? Lover's note. We should ask Rolf about that at some point. It's going to be the end of the day when we're done here. In one of Aideen's books, I found a mystery note, seemingly written by a former lover, simply signed R. Was this really addressed to Aideen? Who wrote it? Maybe I should find out. Don't end the day, don't end the day. I'm not done. Okay, so what we got? Oh, no, there's pictures and stuff back there. Clippings of fashion magazines, catalogues and posters carefully taped to the wall. Okay, that's it for them. Little table back here. A tiny little table with a chair and a stool. And decorations are placed on the table. A plant, some bottles, and a lamp. The lampshade is decorated with seashells. Oops, clicked on it again. So, kettle's not anything. Oh, we've got the shoes. A pile of shoes. Some are worn in, but still well maintained. They are separated into 2 piles. A bunch on the left are size 7 shoes, most likely worn by an adult woman. There are heels, Oxfords, dress boots, rain boots, the whole catalogue. The shoes on the right are closer to size 5, probably for a young kid. There are only a few pairs of ballet flats and a set of rain boots. Oops, I clicked on it again. Blah, 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 blah. Then we have the mirror here. A wooden vanity desk lined with red paint. Various makeup items that I don't recognize are casually arranged next to the mirror. There's nothing up there. I think we might be done here. Just checking again, because AP is precious. I need to make every point count. There. Okay, well, I think we're done. I think that's the end of the day. Not the end of the day. The end of the turn, I should say. There we go. Wow, it goes quick. Even with the extra one, it didn't get half of what I achieved or what I was hoping to do. But still, we're back with Detective Jones now. Dr. Jones. So I think we'll leave it there for this time. I'll just say thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. With Jones, I would definitely like to speak to Chip, who I can see at the fair. We can go back to the train carriage with him. Obviously, the note that Jackie just found won't be there, but we can talk to Jan. That'll probably be all of my time slots. There's obviously Echo in the big top, but we did speak to Echo already, so that's probably okay for now. And also, well, the first thing we will probably want to do is go and see Tito and get our extra AP. But for now, we'll leave it there. So thanks very much again. If you enjoyed this, as I hope you did, if you can hit the thumbs up button, that'd be amazing. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the game so far, the various story threads and the characters we've met. Any kind of theories yet about what could have gone on? I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of leaning towards it maybe being an accident. Maybe she was training someone else and something happened accidentally. Maybe it was Jan. Who knows? But yeah, any thoughts you have, let me know in the comments. And lastly, if you're watching this and haven't already subscribed to the channel, it would be amazing if you could. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.